All right, then what happened, Anthony?
And that took us into our second women's championship for the night, where it was Bayley facing off against the EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair, in a ladder match.
Yeah, well, Bayley, which I didn't realise until they were saying in the commentary, was the first ever women's Grand Slam champion. So she's achieved that. So I didn't know that. But anyway, interestingly, I thought Damage Control of Io Sky and Dakota Kai might have come out initially with Bayley, but they didn't. Obviously came out a bit later. And same with the Bianca Belair. Alexa Bliss and Asuka didn't. Now, yeah, they did the thing where they've injured Asuka, but was it me or did Belair look very uncomfortable early on with the ladder?
Or they both looked uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, they were a bit
heavy, big.
Yeah, like Bayley and they were struggling with the weight of the ladder.
That needed to be another, I reckon, 4 feet lower. About a metre and a half to 2 metres lower from the roof. You could see him struggling with those big ladders.
Yeah, they were.
I
noticed that, and they weren't comfortable at all initially.
Too many ladders. This match here, I'm straight up. Too many ladders. Too much furniture. Right. Too much bullshit. Should have just let them wrestle. Had one ladder underneath the ring, and they fight over the one ladder, and somebody gets it. You know, they were breaking ladders apart and using them as weapons.
Yeah.
It was not a good match. It was not a good match from two girls that could do a lot better. You don't need. This is the thing about hardcore. I don't think people realize, right? Is that unless you really understand how to use all the furniture and the tools, right, you shouldn't use any at all. Then. If you don't understand how to, and I'll refer back to Mad Dog. Local Australian wrestler here in Australia, right? They do anyone internationally. I say, who is this Mad Dog? But he's a local guy, and he works in Japan. He's very good. He's probably the best hardcore guy you would say, or furniture user in the country, right? He understands how to use a weapon, when and when not to use a weapon, what to use, how to use it. You do matches with him, and he goes, "Don't go for that. It's not ready yet." You know. They don't have no idea. So, you know, when you give them all this furniture, then they've got to understand. They just start throwing stuff at each other. They've got no idea how to use it. And you could see in this match that Bayley's never done too much of it, and you've got Bianca Belair, which is still really green.
Oh, she is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she is. In that sort of match, yeah.
And I didn't like the match at all. I think both girls could do a ton better. Right.
I mean, they did some nicer stuff. I mean, you know, it wasn't all, you know, Bayley sunset flipping.
That was nice into the
ladder.
Yeah, that was nice. But there wasn't too much that I'd really say, oh my God, this was so great. You know, honestly, like this, you know.
Well, the flying elbow from Bayley onto the ladder outside the ring.
And once again, did that have to happen?
No, but they're I guess they want to go out and show, hey, we can do what the boys can do, sort of thing.
I get that, and I respect that. But when you've got a busted rib and you can't work for 6 to 8 weeks, you know what I'm saying? It's not a main event. It's mid-card still, right? And this is another thing, and I sort of expect better from Triple H, is for him to say, no, listen, guys, you're not doing all this because we've got a main event coming up that's going to be doing all that.
Yeah.
What do you leave for the main event? That's the problem with these shows.
Yeah, true. Right?
Well, you leave nothing for the main event.
Years ago, if you did that, they'd beat the shit out of you.
You'd cop it in the locker room.
Oh, shit, yeah. Because they say, well, what have you left us to do?
That's right. I used to get that when I first started.
Yeah,
you go and do these 100-mile-an-hour matches, and you'd come in, like you'd be second or third match on the card, and the first thing the old timers would say to you, well, what are you doing? You're screwing us. What's left for us? Then we've got to shoot each other to get over.
Yeah.
You don't realise that at the time, but
you don't.
But you would expect from a company that big to understand that. And then if you have a main event that's a little you hide it because the other matches didn't peak so high. You know, you always want to put on the best show you can. Don't get me wrong, Pete.
Yeah,
you should always start at your main event where you know your main event's gonna be a great match, and you can work backwards. You know, people who are interested, always book my semi-main as my opener because I know the semi-main. I'd book the card stacked up to the top then I put my semi-main as my opener, which jumpstarts the card, and I work everything up from there to the main event, because I know then there's going to be a gap in quality between the semi-main and the main where I'm going to get a good pop off the main event. Right?
It's like anything, though. People remember the start and the finish.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to what goes on in the middle. Yeah.
But when you've got people out there, we talked about this when they done the last Crown Jewel. Spearing, I think, Goldberg speared thing off the thing. What was left for anyone else? The opening match at one of the shows where they had chains wrapped around their boot and kicking each other in the head in the cage. What's left for the main event?
Yeah, no.
So for me, I didn't think it was a great match at all.
What did you give it out of curiosity?
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, I went 6. What
Okay,
do you think, Anthony, of the match? Are you agreeing with us? You gave it 5.
I thought that. Look, I wanted Bayley to go over.
You are?
I wanted Bayley to go over.
Oh, so did I. Absolutely, I did. Yeah.
So, look, I'm over Bianca. A
bit too over the top. I can't warm to her.
It's not that. It's that she's had the belt for way too long.
Yeah, what's she up to now? Is it 400 odd days?
Got to be close to about
I think
somewhere.
it's 400 and something days or somewhere around there. But it's not even how long you have it. I think, I don't know. She's a bit too over the top for me, a bit too hyped, a bit too. I can't warm to her.
Not real. It seems to be fabricated, the character.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very good statement. Yeah.
Like,
I can't, but I'm like you, Anthony. I really wanted Bayley to go over.
I really did. In fact, and Manson Calfist, I said this is bullshit after the end of the match.
But wasn't it a soft finish, Anthony? As it turned out, like
it really was.
It gets up the ladder real easy in the end, and
it was just cool. Hit the move, up we go, grab the ladder.
Yeah, bang, done, I finished. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Anyway.